at some point, our office was notified that this was going to happen. So we kind of had an idea, but of course, I don't think we really understood just exactly what was going to be involved. So I thought there would be like some before and after kind of work. And I don't know what really got into my head as to why I wanted to go get my camera. But I said to my foreman, I said, well, since we're going to be coming back and before and after stuff, I said, would you care if I ran home and get my camera? And so he said, yeah, that'd be fine. So I ran home, got my camera, and we got in our trucks and went down there. So I was a journeyman. I'd been here about 10 years at that point. So we get there, and this acreage, this dilapidated acreage, is just looking amazing. The house is painted up. They've got grass mowed. They actually had uncovered a brick sidewalk around the house that had been just covered from years of neglect and everything. And it's like, wow, look at this. The barn was painted all up and everything. And it was just really amazing the work they had put in, because it was our understanding everything was going to get destroyed, and which was a shame because this was a grand old house. So we get there and I set my truck up at the road. We have a 3-phase feeder line, and then there was a span of primary that went into a transformer pole, and they wanted all that gone. So in the meantime, they'd had an electrician come in and trench the driveway with underground cable, because they still wanted power at the site. And so we set up to do our work, and I'm at the road taking these wires down, and then I have my camera with me, so then I boom up. I'm in about a 55 foot basket truck, so I boom way up and I start taking some shots. And my thought was, if we're going to come back, maybe I could set up in the same positions when we put the wires back up and try to do some of the same thing. Well, that ultimately is what kind of worked out. And same on the ground. I tried to walk to some of the same areas and take pictures so you could kind of see a before and after shots. Got to go back, and I happened to see a guy in kind of behind the house working on this fence. And I guess he was what you'd call kind of a special effects person. And we got to talking about this fence he was working on, and they had kind of this trough made that I remember. And he told me basically it was going to be a kind of a split rail wooden fence, and it was going to be pneumatically controlled. So when they start shooting this movie and these actors are going to be running along this fence is going to start wobbling, like this tornado is causing all this, pressure and everything. And then behind them, they were going to start shooting these rails up. And he told me, he said, yeah, we tested those and we had to turn the pressure down because they were shooting them so high it was almost lethal, It was really cool to see that, because I remember watching the movie and I'm like, I talked to the dude that was making that thing, and operating that thing. This movie gets released, and I remember going to it. I remember this movie come out, and I remember I got to go see this thing. But the last scene that we're working on, that we're talking about, is in about the last 15 to 20 minutes. This little acreage in rural Hardin County was the climactic scene of this movie. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool, little rural Hardin County east of Eldora, right? And this big blockbuster movie, that's kind of cool.